going. Welcome, everybody, to Simple Systems Certifications. My name is Brad Miller, and I'm going to be your professor tonight as we go through the crash course of Simple Systems. I'm a certified health coach, and it's actually been great because I see a lot of new people on the lines. And part of the reason why we're doing this call is because we've just been continuing to grow and bring new people into our family. And coaching is one of those fun, awesome things that we do in kind of the nooks and crannies of life. Many of us have gotten healthy ourselves, and we want to know how to keep it simple and keep it fun. So that's what we're going to be going over tonight. And at the end of it, you guys will all be Simple Systems certified. And someone's also mobile device certified, because that drawing line, that means you're on a mobile device and you're playing around with the drawings. Good job, though. Like, you're already figuring it out. I learned it the hard way on like a leadership call one time. For those that saw the drawing on the page, that's what that is. Anyways, we're going to kick off, and I'm going to go really fast as we're going to cover a lot of things tonight here. And let me make sure I get one more person muted. Oh, they already took care of it. They were ahead of me. So with that being said, let's get going. So rule number one, as your professor, and I do have my pocket protector in tonight in case you guys are wondering, I am professor certified. We're going to go everything you need to know to go Simple Systems. And the rule number one is to have fun. If you guys are new to this community, if you're kind of wondering if this is your first Zoom call with us, one, I'm sorry, we are a weird bunch of people. I don't actually need glasses. For those that are wondering, there are no lenses on this. But we like to have fun. That's the most important thing. So keep it fun, keep it simple. If you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. And that's what we like to say here, because we're getting healthy ourselves and we're changing health in people's lives. Number two is just getting orientated with what Take Shape for Life is and understanding it. Take Shape for Life is about transforming lives, one person at a time. And we really like to call that a ripple effect because, and you guys can check out my Facebook, I've been recapping a lot of the lives that have been changed over the past few years. And what happens is when one person changes their health, they affect another person and another person. And that's what we're about. And that's how we've been able to change thousands of lives over the last decade. But we're not just about dieting and weight loss and meal replacements. We're about physical health, mental health, and financial health. So if this is your first call and you're thinking you're a MetaFast coach, remember that our program is not MetaFast. MetaFast is our medical grade secret tool meal replacement that helps people gain optimal health. And that's what Take Shape for Life is. We're a community of people that want to get healthy, change their lives, and every single person is invited to take in the whole, lack of a better word, buffet of getting healthy. And that's what our whole company is all about. What we do as health coaches, we reach out, we share, and we offer our help to those who are in need. So it's just us getting healthy and sharing the good news, bringing people along, bouncing the ball. That's why the guy's bouncing a happy ball to that person, because he's got a good thing to share, and it's up for her to bounce it back. It's our job to share and follow up. And then once people decide to get started and we're bringing them on and bringing them on with our example, is we encourage them to plug into our community. We're the guide, we're the supporters. We don't need to be professor, coach, know-it-all. And that's really what it's all about. So that's how we also keep it really simple. It's not on you to be the super coach of these people and know everything. It's your job to be moving on your path, be plugged in the community, and help other people be plugged in and moving forward on their health. So tonight, what you will need for your class orientation certification is your file folders, your client tracking sheets, and a 3-ring binder. Does everybody have that? I have mine right here for those that don't know it. If you did not print them off ahead of time, no worries, you can do that. And again, if you're newer to these calls, we don't do that many online trainings, Zooms. We have tons to plug into, but we don't do them very often because you're not meant to be on webinars and Zooms all the time. But we have them here because we want to help everyone learn the simple ways to Take Shape for Life a part of their life, keep it simple and keep it fun. So a lot of the stuff that we have calls on, you can actually get a lot done of the little things that we want to do to help people. We can get it done during the call. So just a little preface for future calls. Number 2, success tracker. Print it off. I'm fancy and I got them done on both sides. If you don't know how to work your printer until like my wife showed me, you might have 2 pieces of paper. And a blank piece of paper to create a schedule and to take some key notes and some top leverage activities. And most importantly, and this also goes on your notepad here, is why you became a health coach, which is the most important thing of all. If you don't remember why you became a health coach, you're really lost because, actually it's also a quick plug for convention. If you guys are not registered for convention yet, guys, I implore you to look at the possibility of going. I almost didn't go about 6 years ago, and I can only think of all the people that wouldn't be getting healthy if I didn't continue my ripple effect, because I would have not been where I'm at today without going and seeing that. But the other reason why I plug it is I got to spend 2 hours today with our keynote speaker, Dave Blanchard, who is the author of Today. I'm going to make sure I don't get the book wrong. Today I Begin a New Life. If you're not reading this book, I highly recommend it. It's a great book, but he's going to be our keynote speaker. And one of the things he encouraged us all to know today is, why did we become a health coach? Because there's a real reason for that. And if you're not attached to that reason, if you lose that reason, then really you're lost from the very beginning. So that's all you're going to need for tonight, to keep it very simple. So what we're going to cover is what we do as health coaches and what TSFL is. And we're already making gains because we've already covered that. Our model and how you build this business and compensation. It's really boring. That's why we're doing it on the front end. But a lot of people want to know this, and knowledge is power. What we offer and points and how we assist people, organizing, schedule, systems, and simple support, coach tips, info on program and ins and outs, little nuances, gee whiz information that's going to help you help other people. So rule number 2 is, we are always on our optimal health journey. Optimal health is a journey taken one step, one habit, one day at a time. So how we help others is by putting the ripple effect, putting the oxygen mask on us first, and then ripple effect that out from what we do. So we're only as good as we are on our health journey. If you're not perfect, that does not make you a bad health coach. We are all on our journey. It's not about perfection. It's about knowing where you're going. So be plugged into the community, leave yourself, and bring others with you. And congrats, guys, tonight, because not only are you a health coach and you want to help other people, but becoming a health coach yourself has made you 5 times more likely to reach and maintain an optimal weight and live optimal health. And that's part of rule number 1 as far as orientation. That's why we stay connected. I would not be where I'm at in my health today if it was not for being a health coach and helping others. So remember that it's all part of the benefits of what we share with people. Rule number 3 is keep sharing, keep building, and follow up. Follow up is probably the biggest thing that I can encourage people to do. Keep it simple, keep it fun, and be consistent. Be aware of your brand. I realize I say this as I'm wearing glasses with tape in the middle. But guys, I want you to think about it. You're not supposed to be perfect. This is not a brick and mortar business. This is not meant to be like, Mr. and Mrs. Professional. We are just normal people making extraordinary things happen, setting examples with those around us. But people are inspired by what they think about when they think of us. So an encouragement for you guys today in keeping your business, your simple system simple, is look at your Facebook, or just think about what people might think about when they think of you. Do they think of health? And again, I got to preface the other side of this. You are not ever meant to be perfect. So don't ever think you have to be perfect. But this is just something I throw out there, that when people think of you, when people look at your Facebook, Doug Wood, presidential director, threw this one out there. If anyone ever convicted you or accused you of being a health coach, would there be enough evidence in the world to convict you? So that's something I always encourage people to think about. Moving on, I want you guys, if you guys remember one thing from the simple systems call and how to keep it very simple, I want you to remember these simple numbers right here, 5 and 1. It's very easy because it starts with our program and how most of us got healthy and reached our optimal weight, or are in process of it. But it's also how you can change the world. 5 people at a time. 1 person or 5 people at a time, 1 person paying it forward at a time. And that's the pace and how we build this business. Guys, I'm really delighted to tell you that just by being a couple of kids that wanted to help a few people, that Ashley and I have built a network of thousands of people getting healthy in I think we're over 35 states now. It's very powerful if you just focus on 5 people at a time, 1 person paying it forward at a time. So let's not talk about eating the whole elephant tonight. Let's talk about taking little bites. 5 and 1 lean and green meal bites. So let's go over our compensation and our model. That's what we're going to go over real quick, just so you guys have an idea of it. It's boring and it's not the heart of our organization, but we do get paid really well. So it's really good to kind of look at what our compensation is, what the next steps are. And when you're sharing it with people as you're paying it forward, like kind of like let them into a secret club. We get paid really well for what we do. So just real quick, I'm going to go over the compensation real quick. So these are our compensations. We get paid a percentage of our orders to support clients. As a health coach, you make 15%. As a certified health coach, you get an additional 3%. At senior coach, when you make your first level, helping your first 5 people, that's how you get started. You make an additional 5%. And then every rank after that, you make an additional 2%. So I want you guys to remember 2 numbers from this tonight. is that you get paid 15% base on supporting people and 31 at the highest level of your client support. And I want you to think about what's so cool about our company is that everything is modeled around encouraging you to help more people. That's exactly how our company's set up, and it's all the way true, all the way, every way you look at it, and I love it. So let's look at what that actually looks like for those that are newer on the line. If you're a senior coach, you're probably supporting about 5 to 7 clients. Most people get started on that and can do that in their first 7 to 14 days. Some people go a little bit slower and it takes them a little bit longer, but anyone who's working at it, that's generally the pace we see. Manager is about 8 to 10 clients. Associate director is about 11 to 13 clients. Director is 14 to 17 clients. And for those that are noticing here, a number of clients are referenced here on the right-hand side. And then at executive director, which is our first leadership level, you are supporting about 18 clients or so plus on program. Like Sherry, who I see right here, who came to Portland at the start of the new year and decided she wanted to help a bunch of people. And now she's kicking butt, and I will see you in Orlando in a couple weeks. This is what the average income is at that level, so you can just kind of comprehend. And I got to make sure I change my screen here. There we go. So we can see this. As senior coach, you're generally making about $400 a month. Manager, you're making about $700 a month. Associate director, it's about $1,500 a month. And at executive director, depending on how many people you're helping, you're probably making somewhere just a smidge under $2,000 a month to $4,000 a month. Like I said, we get paid very well for supporting people. It's kind of crazy. And additionally, we also have rolling bonuses. So just for supporting people, our company pays us a nice little a bonus on top of it. So for every month that you're certified, which means you've taken the next level to learn your craft of health coaching, and this is an actual certification from the Villanova University of Nursing, which is great. It's not just something we made up, kind of like tonight's call that you guys will get a certificate for, but I think it's real. But the one we get from the company is a little bit more real. You get bonuses every 3 months just for helping people. So if you're supporting between your volume average is about between $2,000 and just under $4,000 a month, you get a $250 thank you. If it's between $4,000 and just under $6,000, you get a $500 bonus. And if it's over $6,000, if you're at that ED level, which most people, I'll go over that in a second, it's $1,000. So for every 3 months, Ashley and I receive a $1,000 bonus just for supporting the clients that we are already supporting. It's pretty cool. And then here's just a little bit more information about our model and the benchmarks. These are the main things that you can change the world, and I just want you guys to know this and at least plan it in your brain if you don't already forget it by the end of this call. It'll be there, and I'm doing the first plant of learning that knowledge. Is our whole model across the United States, how we've been able to change the world, is set up on 3 easy benchmarks. Making senior coach, because if you're going to become a coach, help your first 5 clients. Let's not come in and just help, just like pitter around. We're not really a health coach until we help people. So we want to help our first 5 people. We want a 5 and 1. We want to help 5 people at a time and look for our one health coach in there, because there's probably one, there's probably more, and executive director teams. That's the structure of our business and how we've been able to make the change in thousands of people's lives over the last decade. So that's the client portion. But we're also looking at this a little bit bigger, at a ripple effect. So we talked about 5 and 1. So it's not just clients, ideally, but you can have whatever business you want, whether you want to just, and I was kind of joking when I said, come in and not help 5 people. If you want to help 2 people, guys, you got to know part of also understanding our simple system in our community is that you are a part of our family and our community. If you've gotten healthy, if you are plugged in, you are a part of our community and our family. So that's just something to know right there. But you can also do this by bringing on coaches while you're building your clients as well. Because why hold a good thing to yourself? And that's kind of the number that I want to implant in your brain is every 5 and 1 people, there's generally a coach in there. I'll get to a little bit more of that later. But this is the blended path. So you can make executive director on the way to growing your client base. So if you're a director, not an executive director yet, but you have about that 14, 16 clients, and you've already paid it forward to your first coach and their senior coach, you're an executive director. Associate director, so you're supporting a little bit less, but you brought on 2 coaches that are senior coach, you're also executive director. So it's kind of like this, crossover supply and demand. I wasn't really good at economics in high school, but or college for that matter, but you want to have that intersecting mark where you're on your way to ED, but you're bringing on your first few people. That's how you can make it by blended paths. So it's not like a stopping point unless you're busy, but there's the options on how you can have your ripple effect and how you can change lives. There's also manager plus 3 senior coaches, but we see that a little less often. But one thing I also want to point out here, and I think I'll get to later, is that if you're bringing on your first coach, guys, this is part of the simple systems. You're not meant to know everything. You have a support team and a coach that wants to help you. So if you see someone that's like dynamite, you know that they'd be a great health coach, plug them in with your support team. That's part of the support, and that's part of the model that we have. So here's the ultimate goal, is that there's ideally you, that if you're looking for the template, that you want to be supporting a good amount of clients. However many you want to support is up to you. Some people like to run a little bit less. Some people like to run a little bit more. Like for instance, Ashley and I, even at this level, we love coaching people. So we support about a 10,000 to 12,000 frontline volume every single month because we love helping people, and we love helping people become coaches in this business. And if we're not authentically doing it, we don't feel like we're of good value to people. So that's what we choose to do. But then also your ultimate goal is to have 5 legs of people moving forward that want to do what you're doing, that want to help change the world. If you can have 5 partners, you can do amazing things. You don't have to do this overnight. I just want you guys to know that this is the template here. So let's kind of finish up here by saying, here are the leadership ranks that I was talking about here. After you make executive director, your goal is to duplicate yourself. So at executive director, you're making about $2,000 to $4,000. Regional director is an ED level, and you have a 1 ED on your team. The average income there is about $2,500 to $4,500, depending on how many clients you're supporting. Integrated, which means you've already sponsored 5 partners on your team and they're moving forward to senior coach. Average income there, $3,500 would be a little bit on the low side. I don't really know how you would do that, but it would definitely be low because I want to make sure my numbers are conservative, to $6,000 a month. National director, which means you brought on 3 people that have gone ED. That's your average income there. And integrated national director, that's your income right there, where you have 3 EDs and a total of 5 senior coach legs, like I was mentioning in that first slide just before this. And then global director, which means 5 ED teams. You've helped 5 people start a world-changing business. That's the income level there. And again, we don't talk much about income, but I wanted to show this tonight because as far as simple systems go, some people will come in, and I definitely was guilty of that. I did not know how powerful this model was. I thought it was kind of a thing you do on the side. And when I first went to convention, another plug for convention, I saw physicians that had successful practices, that had years of experience, that treated this with more dignity and respect than they treated their own practice. And that made me respect what I was doing. So I show this to you to show you that we're not dinking around with anything. I mean, people's health is serious. Changing lives is serious, and we also have the potential, depending on how many people you want to help, to have executive level income impact. But that only happens if you help enough people. And here's another simple system tip: if you focus on the money, the people don't come. But if you focus on people, there's plenty of great finances to be had there. So I think that covers all the boring compensation part. Hopefully I didn't put you guys all to sleep. So now we can get on to the fun stuff. Sherry, you still with me? I saw you napping for a second. I'm just kidding. All right. There'll be a test on that later. So I hope you guys all paid attention, took notes. So let's get to the fun stuff, the simple system, the ability to help others, plug people in. And I hope you guys are learning to plug people in. You're not meant to know everything on this. You earn why you learn and help people. You're paid on how much you help people and what you learn along the way and how you plug into. And your support team is here to guide you. You're not meant to do this on an island. And that's how you create a ripple effect. So again, we're back to the 5 and 1, because hopefully I want this pounding in your head while you're sleeping. I want you to dream of 5 and 1s and people getting healthy and all that fun stuff. So let's go over our plans just so you know that they're available. 5 and 1 plan. This is the plan that most people on our program do. It's like 95% of people will come on, but we have all these other plans that I do want to go over so you know they're there. But it's medical grade, weight loss, fat burning. You have high energy, low hunger, fast weight loss. You protect your muscle mass. You feel good. It's part of our optimal health program. You're building the fundamentals for building a healthy lifestyle. You have a health coach and support, and it's nutritionally balanced. The program comes down to about $11 a day to be on plan, which is an incredible value when you really think about it. You have a health coach, the predictable transformation that you are going to lose weight, and that you are part of a community that's going to keep it off long term, not to mention setting the pace for you to be able to become a health coach. it is a great deal. I've talked to some people recently, and I have a lot of friends in the personal fitness, our personal training fitness industry, and they can't believe the value of what it is we have, because you don't believe what they cost to have a trainer these days. And that doesn't even promise you results. Sorry for anyone that's a trainer on the line. We do love you and we do refer to you. We also have a 3-in-3 plan, which is our balanced eating, all natural, structured eating plan. It's great for weight loss, for after weight loss. It's great for slower weight loss with a little bit more wiggle room. You're not going to lose like on the 5-in-1. You're not going to experience the high energy, the low hunger, the fat burning stage, but you will be moving forward and be building healthy habits, which is what we talk about. And it's the plan that we generally move people towards once they hit their goal. I focus on building a 3-in-3 plan every single day, and it's my template for living a healthy lifestyle. There's a little bit more wiggle room there, and you can adjust it based on what you need, like all those things I listed there. It's about $9 a day to be on plan if you were just to do this way, which again is probably what people are spending at lunch or at Starbucks in the morning. So helping them switch out their unhealthy food for healthy food and saving them money. It's a great thing. We also have other plans. There's 4-in-2 plan. This is more for an option for someone that maybe is doing something or is at a different stage where they can't be doing the 5-in-1 plan due to activity or some other issue like that. So it's just there. Wanted you guys to know about it. There's a Nursing Mothers plan, which is fantastic. My wife just hit her goal. I believe she lost 39 pounds since having our son, and she is amazingly grateful for this plan. It's simple and it's easy. And if you know nursing mothers or people that are about to give birth, they're going to want to know about this plan. We have a seniors plan, which is great. It's documented for people over 70. And just to give you some kind of tips on this, most people that have been over 70, for me, I've cleared it with their doctor and nutrition support. They generally do 5-in-1. For those that don't know my grandma's story, in her late 80s, she lost over 100 pounds and gained almost an extra decade of life, which I'm truly thankful to this plan for. But she just did the 5-in-1 plan because her normal calorie intake was that of almost a 5-in-1, and that's how she was able to lose it. She was fine. She was great. But that's just GWIS information. Follow our guidelines, check with their doctors, grab your support team. They'll be able to give you more information. And then we have plans for diabetes and so on and so forth. So let's go as far as simple systems, the best way to start somebody. So when someone's ready to get started, so you might be thinking like, especially if you're newer, I don't know how to start them. I don't know what to do. Well, this is the stuff that we're going to go over so you can just be like, boom, this is how we do it. Generally, we start people with an Optimal Health Plus 3 pack. So if you go online, there's packs, and you can see here at the bottom of the screen, there's MetaFast Favorites. There's On the Go for people that want like bars, things that are already made. They're maybe not next to a refrigerator or a microwave or a stove or anything like that. They also have gluten-free packs. We also add in 3 meals on top of it because it gives them enough for their first full month and takes care of everything. It's $364 to get started, and that breaks down to just a little bit over $11 a day. Again, phenomenal deal. And then it's easy for you to do this order. That's not the main point why we do it, but it's also easy for them. If they're ready to choose health, help them just say yes. It's not about the food. We want them to be tied to their why and the reason why they're doing it. We want them to say yes to getting healthy, not, hey, what's in this food? Because it really doesn't matter. The food's great, and that's why we have the variety packs. And here's the other reason why we do it this way. Let's say you get someone that's like, I'd really like to pick out a few of the items, or my friend told me this is good. Say, fantastic. Which ones are they? We can customize up to 8 items because you get to select 5 free in the first order, plus the 3 of them. So if they really want to, customize some of them, go ahead and do this. It's additionally easy too, because when this person starts having people around them noticing and they want to help them, you're going to be like, oh man, it's going to be so easy for you to help them because you just train them how to start the people around them when they want to pay it forward. And I do want to give a disclaimer on this for some people that may be starting their clients a little bit differently. This is just the suggested way. It's very quick. It's very easy. It sets our clients up for the best success. But if you're starting a client, if they are dialed in and they're serious about their health, it doesn't matter if you start them with 1 box and they have to wait till they get their box and then wait for their more boxes to come or whatever. They're getting healthy. So there's no wrong way to start a client. Just know that this is the most simple way, the most duplicatable way. So we're back to 5-in-1. Let's talk about connecting and helping with others. Because one thing I learned here, and I go back because we're about 6 years into it. I told Dr. A, because he actually asked me, we talked to him when we were leaving convention. He's like, oh, Brad and Ashley, you can do this, because he knew my parents and my family. And I was like, oh, Dr. A, you have no idea. You don't understand. I'm so young and I don't have weight loss and I don't know anybody. There's no one I could possibly get healthy. And he said, talk with the people, share, listen to your parents, which was hard to do. And there's plenty of people to help out there. So we're going to go over the simple ways of getting the word out. Today, guys, we are more inundated with technology. Our days are more jam-packed than anything than they are any time they've ever been. So one thing we like to do is help people keep it really simple to make an impact in people's lives. And you can run an entire business with these 4 simple things here. And you actually don't even need the computer. I know some people that do it from their phone. Just kind of check your eyesight sometimes on it, but you can do it. So these are the things that we want to go over. So back to rule number 2 in the simple systems process. You place your oxygen mask on you first. We always focus on ourselves first. And again, it's not about being perfect. It's about taking a step forward one day at a time. But also, this is your brand. What your brand is what people think of you when, what they think about when they think about you. When you're moving forward on your health, there's just no way to explain it. And I didn't even get it. Dave Blanchard was trying to explain to me today that you can't fake anything, because he was trying to explain to me the neurological reasons why you can't fake anything. People can sense when you're moving forward on something and when you are authentically passionate about something. And again, for those that don't know or might be in weight loss stage, you can't lose weight forever. So it's not about being perfect. It's just about moving forward and being, if I judged my health journey on every perfect decision I made, I wouldn't be here. It's just about if you're moving forward, taking a step at a time. But that's the way that you can help the most people. So let's get into this. So what I want you guys to do is pull out this little tool right here. You guys got it? Yes? No? Oops. Baby Einstein is a regular in our house these days. Hope you guys enjoyed that music. So grab your success tracker real quick. And I'm going to change this real quick so I can just see me. There we go. All right, so this is the simple way to get organized. If you guys haven't seen this before, I want you guys to get familiar with this. This is an easy way to keep your business very organized. So how we do this is on the front here, or on the back. Let's go over the reasons why we use it. Simple way to organize your health coaching. It's in organizing all the people that you are helping and potential partners. Organizing all the people you are dripping on, because follow-up is so key. The average person needs to be followed up with 5 to 12 times before they said yes. I want you guys to think about how many times it took you to think about it before you got started. Some of you guys are awesome and said, hey, I'm ready for this. Let's do it. Some people are like me and it took me forever. But this is why it's here. And also, for those that don't know, in the simple systems process, this is what we go over when we jumpstart our month. We go over the basic information you might need to know, as well as helping you get reorganized on this so you can stay focused. Take 15 minutes, make your month very easy, help more people. It's an awesome thing. Let me go over this real quick. So this is how it works. So all the people that you want to help share with this, talk to about, explore coaching with, go on the back. So you keep a document of all the people you want, and you're constantly adding to it. It goes in your folder, so you can constantly be adding to it. Don't try to remember it, guys. Don't be that hero. You will forget. I'm guilty of it. I thought I could do it. And just a quick tip on simple systems. At one point, I went back and calculated all the people who were very interested in our program over the years through my text messages, my Facebook messages. And I had realized I had let basically an executive director level business slip through my hands of people I did not follow up with that were generally interested. And it really, it hurt. I couldn't believe I did that to that many people. So keep track of it right here. It's very simple. And then continue to add to it. And I want to point out, if you guys are a new coach on this line, focus on your first 5 to 10 people that are really interested in what you've been doing, and then connect with your support team to do 3-way phone calls to help them get started. Corey, I know you're a master of it because that's what you've been doing. You just were losing weight, doing great, feeling good, and you did 3-way phone calls with Don. That's how come you're moving so fast. And then on the front, this is where the organization happens. Current clients go on the front from the top to bottom, and it's great because you can just focus on helping people, and it tells you basically what rank you're going to be at each month, because we're not really about the rank, but there is smiley faces for helping a certain amount of people, and it's good to keep that organized so you know what's going to happen in your business. And then at the top left-hand corner goes all the people that are moving closer. You know when people are getting close and thinking about program or have said they're going to get started in like a week. Put them in the top right corner or top left corner so that you can keep an eye on them and stay followed up on them. The rest of the people are on the back, and you stay diligent of dripping on them. Let's see here. This is also one thing I want to hit on in simple systems. This is another thing David Blanchard was going over today. Empathetic coaching and empathetic listening. The M, the original root word means to stand on, and path obviously means path. So loose translation, it means to put ourselves in somebody's shoes when we're talking with them. So if you can be really good at your simple systems, make sure that you're ready to ask people questions and authentically ask them questions. The most amazing thing you can do is come alongside someone and say, how are you doing? And that's why one of the tips that we have is talk to 5 people a day. And it's not necessarily talk to 5 people a day about program. Ideally, that might happen. But talk to 5 people a day, because if you do, most people need what we have. So the power of asking questions is amazing, and being on purpose with people, but not having an agenda. That's really the best way to be an empathetic coach. So this is actually the bulk of the simple systems right here that we wanted to help you guys with, is how you can impact the world in 30 minutes a day. So this is just a quick list. And this is actually where I would pull out the piece of paper where you can say, what you want, like your top level tips that you can do, your notes. Lead with health first. This is stuff I would all recommend writing down. I actually have it written on my client tracking folder right here. So this is my binder. So lead with your health first. Know your mission and why you became a health coach. If you don't know that, then that's something you're going to spend time figuring out, and that's time wasted. That's not simple systems. And then also below that, I want you to write down what you generically want to say to people when they ask you what it is you do. So this isn't just like a platitude thing. I really want you guys to actually write this down. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, like great, I'll do that. And I really encourage you to do this. It will make a difference in what you say and how passionate you are to talk to people about what it is you've done with your health and how you're helping others. The next thing is know your next benchmark and declare it, because when you declare you're going to do something, you don't become passive at it. You start doing it. And then here are the other real tangible tips that you can do in just a few minutes a day. Talk/touch 5 people a day. The conversation of health may come up, but if you can make it a point to talk to 5 people a day, ideally people on your list, people that you want to get started on program, people you want to share with, you're moving that relationship forward. And people, when you authentically just put this out in the world, people start gravitating towards you. There's also post something health related on Facebook each day. This goes to your branding. It doesn't need to be plastering a before and after picture. It can be anything. It can be a glass of water and how you're drinking water. It can be a run. It can be an awesome healthy meal. Please mix in other real life things, or else people are going to think you're just throwing up Facebook stuff all the day long and they're not going to take you as seriously. But that's a really high leverage thing that you can be doing. Also on Facebook, here's another tip. Comment on 5 people a day that are on the back of your list, because when you comment on that, you're moving the relationship forward. Again, without an agenda, you're just loving on people, but also when you comment on people's stuff, your stuff shows up in their newsfeed more often, so they can see your healthy inspiration more often. And then here's the last thing. When you start your day, because this is less than probably, you can get this all done in like 10 minutes. Ask yourself, who can I sign up today? And it's not about getting someone to sign up on plan, but if you don't mentally prepare yourself, fail to prepare to fail. If you can set up the mindset like, hey, if you're looking for that person, you can create that person most of the time. You might not sign up a client every day. You might sign up 5 clients a day. But if you set up your mind on who you can with the end result you want, you'll be more likely to achieve it. And that's how you can make a big impact in less than 30 minutes a day. So hope you guys start trying this out and see what happens. Here's some last Facebook tips on that whole deal there is change your profile picture to your before and after. Your picture is worth 1,000 words, more than anything you could ever say to anyone. Post something daily about health. Mix it up and add other fun stuff in there too. Thank people that like your post. If you have people that like your post, they're noticing. And I can't even tell you how many people are watching your post like creepers and not saying anything. Like if you haven't had those people yet that are like, oh my gosh, I've been watching you for like a year. And you're like, dude, where have you been at? Like you haven't even like commented or liked one post. And like, oh yeah, I was watching. It's like, well, let's talk about getting healthy, but it's kind of creepy. Still help them anyways. It's still good, but put it out there. Like, and then thank people for their likes on your post. Comment/message 5 people a day. I already went over that. If someone asks about your info on one of your posts or your before and afters or something about one of your clients' posts on your page, always reply back, tag them and say, I'll private message you. Because if you give the answer, 1, you're giving the answer away and you're not actually getting to connect with them. But 2, people that are also thinking, I want to know more, have their answer. So when you say, I'll private message you and then private message them, people jump in and say, well, private message me too. I don't want to be left out. Just a cool little tip there. And then always take it to the phone. You can never have a really diligent conversation with someone via Facebook. Thank them for their post, tell them how excited you are. whatever it is you want to do, authentic conversation, but always take it to a phone. Hey, when do you have a few minutes? I'd love to tell you about it. Like, I'd love to share with you. Just some general tips there. Here's the other simple system stuff that I wanted to cover with you guys tonight. A lot of people just assume that their schedule is busy, and I know for many of you it is, so don't think I'm not accounting for how busy you are. Everyone's busy. But when you really step back and look at our schedule, this is how you can keep it super simple. You notice there's a lot of open area here. If you set up your morning and take that time, or your lunch break, or your first break of the day, many coaches do this full time or part time as after they're working, or are stay-at-home parents, which is an even tougher job for those that know that. If you set up and take a few minutes to set your day on course, you can get so much more done. There's really only a leadership call every Monday. You can schedule your client support and celebrations and follow-up any day you choose. I choose Tuesday. It's the best day I find. It lets the Monday kind of calm down, but it also lets me catch my clients on the front end of the week. And so you can put that in there. If you're just getting started, spend most of your time on follow-up and starting clients that day. It's kind of a catch-up for all the people you're touching on. And as you bring on more clients, it can be more of your celebration day and your follow-up day. Starting now with the day with those touches to create, Starting out your day to create those touches will impact many lives and start your day on the right path. Getting into action. Guys, if you remember one thing, I'm not a big rah-rah person, and I'm not a really big do it anyways, do it, just do it. It's very important to be clear on what you want and why you want to do it. I'm very, again, another plug for Dave Blanchard at National Convention. But one thing I do have to tell you that is true every single time, if you don't feel like doing it, if you feel tired, if you want to hit that snooze button, absolutely remember this, and it's 100% true. Don't feel your way into acting. Act your way into feeling. When you start doing this, when you start reaching out, it actually inspires you to do more. So if you start your day with some of this stuff, wake up 5 minutes early, 10 minutes early, and get this stuff done, you're setting up your pace to move your business forward, move people forward, and affect people's lives. Other things to note in your schedule. We do a Jumpstart Your Month every single month on the first day of the month in the evenings. So that's the time where we help you get organized. It's quick and easy. It's just set aside. It's there every single month, first day of the month. That's what we do. We come together, we celebrate, we get organized. Facebook groups are always here to help you. It has all the references and every information you need. And there's also trilogies of health calls every other Monday. So right after the leadership call, our organization does a trilogy call where you can plug people in that are thinking about coaching, that are thinking about program, and we just share real stories of health and about our program and about coaching. So feel free to mark those on your calendar. The next one will be this Monday, and we're actually going to focus on the background of health professionals. So be prepared for that. It's going to be real stories about real people, but it's going to have a personal trainer background on that. So let's hit over some last few things here, because I think we got started a little bit late, but I'm getting close to my 40 minutes. This is how to share program real quick, and I wanted to review this real quick. Always start off with oh, by the way, if you're new at this and you're doing this with your support team, like you're doing your first few clients, there is a script tool in your Facebook coach support page that goes over kind of a dialogue on how a conversation would go. We don't have an actual word-by-word script because you can't script someone on how to partner with them with their health, but there is kind of a flow of the conversations we have. Always start off with excitement and asking them about their health. That's always the most important thing. And you want to ask about 3 to 6, possibly even more good questions to know what they want and where they want to go and where they are now. Until you really know a good reason that you can write down why they want to get healthy and where they are now, do not proceed with program. Because if you're going to be their coach, really your goal is to just encourage them and remind them why they got started. So you want to make sure you grab that really good goal from them. Ask if they have questions, because we want to clarify any objections on where they want to get to. But basically, we just want to explain to them how they can get what they want, because our program can help them do that. Explain the program simply. Don't go into all the details. All they need to know is that it works. It's simple. It's easy. They feel good, fat burning, lots of energy. And then ask them if they have any questions. Recap and review and make sure if it's a match, they're ready. But the most important question I can encourage you to think about with your simple systems, and this is another one to write down on the notes that I was talking about there, is, are you ready to get started? This will change your entire business, because you have to remember, it's not what we think and what we know. It's making sure we put ourselves in the shoes of the other people. Most people don't realize that they can just sign up then and there, and it takes like 30 seconds. They think it's like a big, long process. So write that down, as well as I skipped over this already. write down the day you'd like to have your follow-up day. So it's imprinted, it's written down, it's already cemented in. It's a really high leverage thing to do. All right, then lastly, or as we're finishing up here, connecting with someone. If they are ready, this is the question you want to ask yourself. And if you're doing it differently, if you're signing them up, if you're going to meet them with coffee, if you're doing it on the website, whatever, however you sign someone was good. But this is the way we found it makes it really simple and anyone can do it from anywhere. If they say they're ready to go and you're talking to them on the phone or via Zoom or in person, if they say yes, say, where would you like your program shipped to and what card do you want it on? That's all you need to know to be able to place their order. Mind you, you might need to adjust some things, like if they have allergies or specific requirements, but people know how to eat food. If they have requirements or things, they know they're getting a food program. They'll tell you, like people know how to go out and eat food. So they'll tell you if they have any of those things. And the only other thing you would need is their email address and phone number, but you probably already have it. And the password you need to enter in when you place their order is welcome with a capital W1. So if they're ready, or if they're, I didn't write the not in there. So if they aren't ready, which usually sometimes is like, hey, I have to think about it, or I'm going on vacation, or I need to talk to my husband, or my husband might want to do this with me, or my, blah, blah, blah. Set up the next follow-up time. Never leave something without the next step in place. Follow-up takes about 5 to 12 times. And if you're not set up in simple systems to follow up, people that are interested will let life get in the way. And so we're following up to be an advocate for their health. We're not pushing them. We're not making them sign up. We're reaching back to make sure people have questions. If they have questions, that we're getting them answers. If we can encourage them, et cetera, et cetera. Some people, that's why we have partners. They're just looking for someone to support them along the way. So this is where we plug them in. This is the plugging in part. This is all you got to do. And this is, in case you're new, this is just something great to write down. You send them a welcome email. It's already pre-done. It's in the Facebook pages. If you don't already have it set up, you can just forward it on to them so they can look over any in-depth information that they need, but they probably won't do it anyways. Have them let you know when their food arrives. It's not your job to track or be an order taker. So just have them, they're big boys and girls, they can tell you when their food is going to arrive and when they want to get started. Add them and welcome them to a Facebook group. And this is where I'm going to go on a little bit of a tangent here for a second. If you guys are not actively participating in one of our support Facebook groups, I highly encourage it. It's a very big tool because community can happen whether you're in person or in online. And when you bring on clients, support is probably one of the biggest things they can have, and integration into our program. It's going to increase their success rate tenfold. So add them into a support group and welcome them. And here's just another plug if you're for all the people here. You don't have to have your own individual pages. Most of your support team will have one, and I always encourage the bigger support pages, the better. Most high-level executive directors or global directors will have their own support group. So don't feel like you need to go off and start your own support group. That's just more activity that you don't need to do. That's not really helping somebody get healthy when it's already there. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. But high leverage tip. Then number 4 is complete the client profile and put it in your binder. And I do say the binders, guys, this is why I want to say, bring a binder and bring your file folders. 3-punch that baby and put it in here. It makes your business so organized and you can just take it anywhere. And guys, think about this too. You can get a little bit fancier than me because I'm a guy and I think light blue is the only color they had. But most people pay thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars for a brick and mortar business. So feel free to go nutso on this because we don't have much overhead. Like it's like this and like printing paper. So like feel free to go with fancy paper. Feel free to go with the fancy binder. I know like I've seen Don Chow's folder. It's like got polka dots and all kinds of crazy stuff all over. And Ashley's has got the same thing. Anyways, so that's like my top tip on that. Get organized, put it in here. And when you start them, what I do is I put my new clients on the very, very top. So when I open up my folder on my celebration day, and maybe I haven't talked to that person in 2 weeks, it's going to remind me to reach out to them. Out of sight, out of mind, but little things that help me not feel like I'm juggling everybody, because I am not a diet coach and I'm not a diet coach chaser. I am a person that's helping people that are being responsible for their own health. So this is the kind of support piece that I just want to give you some gee whiz information. Short phone calls with your clients the night before and during their first 4 days until they're in a fat burning. It's going to be changing their schedule. Eating healthy and eating 5 meals a day is not normal for people. So we want to encourage them and let them know they're not by themselves. Text messages are okay, but I would only recommend intermittently because if you're doing it by text, you're not really connecting with the person. I'd say my most average, honestly, probably one of the first 4 nights I'm talking with them is probably one of the nights is probably a text just mixed in there. I don't encourage doing that on day 3. Day 3 is the day they need you the most because they're probably hungry. They're getting in the fat burning. They're probably grouchy. If their husband or their spouse or their friend brought home like, beer or pizza, they might go crazy. So be there for them on that and help them make sure that they know that fat burning is coming next. Ask open-ended questions when you're coaching your clients. Don't ask them yes or no questions, because you might say, did you get all your water in? And they'll say yes, and they really only got 20 ounces in. So help them learn what they're doing right and make sure they got down those basics. There's not really much to add or to check on. It's 5 and 1, so it's pretty easy to cover it. Be encouraging and model success. That's the most important thing. Our posture lays the groundwork for everything we do. Have optimal health conversations with your clients, not diet conversations. One way we've been able to have a very successful, simple business is because we're not chasing people on a diet. And people don't quit getting healthy. When you're having life-changing, optimal health conversations, you always have someone you're helping move forward. So the conversation becomes about how you move forward, not can they stick with this diet. And for anyone that's new on the line, you might feel like that's a little bit of a shift, but I wanted to give you guys that permission to start talking, to ask yourself what you're talking about. And then once they get into celebration day, just graduate them into your celebration day. Like, people do what most people do. So just let them know, hey, I'll touch base with you. I do most of my celebration calls on this day or this day. You break them up into 2 days. I'll touch base with you, but let me know how you're doing. I'll also check in with you, but stay connected on the Facebook group. We're not ditching them, but we're starting to let them take care of their own journey and starting to let them, walk on their own 2 feet. Here's a little bit more about getting started here. Oh, and that's what makes it really easy. So literally you can keep your day focused on other actions and know that you're going to take care of everyone and follow up. So it's kind of like you can put your attention on other things and other things in life, because I know we're all so busy. Getting them started. These are just some generic tips and about program here. Each week is about making progress. Celebrate what's going on with them. Calls are best are connecting and partnering with people. Posture is important. We already covered that. If they are going to do well and we are not their diet coaches. So have bulletproofness, empathetic support to people. So come alongside them, let them know you hear it. But if you celebrate with them how they're doing, they're going to be doing great. And remember that it's not about being perfect. So if you hear about people going off plan, just partner with them. They're big boys and big girls. Encourage them, give them information and help them keep moving forward towards their goals. And remember that people can't quit getting healthy. So if someone says, hey, I don't know if I can do this, I don't know if I can move forward, be like, all right, great. I understand you got stuff going on right now. I hear what you're saying. Let's touch base, because we can change some things around to help make it fit for you. So you can start partnering with them and maybe exploring our other plans. But here's another simple systems tip. When people know they have options, they generally choose the one that's going to get them to their goal the fastest. So I've seen it happen multiple times where you're like, all right, well, let's explore like a 3 and 3 or a 4 and 2 plan. So it's going to give you a little bit more wiggle room. You're not going to lose as fast, but it'll still be structured and you're still practicing healthy habits. And then they're like, oh, well, then I could just do 5 and 1 and that's easier. Okay, cool. Let's just do 5 and 1. And you're like, we could have just skipped this whole conversation. But that's why they need a coach every now and again, is to set their path straight for them. And people walk the path that we lay out for them. So always model what the next step is for people. Let's see here. Second orders, again, on the simple systems. This is also going to make your lives very easy. On your client's first Be Slim order, so that means their second order, they're going to get a 7-day and 4-day notice, as will you. There is a video that explains how to update your order in the simple systems document in the Facebook pages. So you can send that to your client. But also you want to make sure that they understand how to order it. Most people will be like, oh, I'm just going to log in and order. And then they place an on-demand order and they still have a Be Slim set up. They didn't get their savings and all that stuff. I'd say about 25% of the time people do it wrong. So that's why you want to reach out and say, hey, can I help you with this? You also want to model and put out there that they'll need 20 to 23 boxes of food for their next month. Some people will do less, and you don't want them to run out of food before their next order. That is a big boo-boo, and people don't like it when they have to go out of fat burning or run out of food or are down to the last box. Be Slims, again, when you're layering this, is one of the best tools for creating a healthy lifestyle. Guys, I've been able to move my health forward every single day since I got healthy, and it's one of the biggest tools I have for that is I have healthy meals coming to my house every day, probably around the 7th day of the month, because I order every month on the 1st. And just more GWIS information, 10% savings and free shipping on all orders over $250, and 5% savings and $5 flat rate shipping. I'm sorry here. 10% savings and free shipping on all orders over $250. 5% savings and $5 shipping flat rate on orders of $150, just so you're aware of it, so you can remember that it's there. Rewards expire after 60 days. So in case you're wondering why that is, is they found that, I mean, we want to reward people for making decisions. If people are periodically placing B slims, then they're not probably doing what's best for the health journey, and they're probably pitter-pattering around. They set up the 60-day policy because it models what the most the highest success rate of clients were. Because think about it, some people can have some off months. That's why they made it 60 days, because some people might need to postpone their order for a little bit. But if they're going out past 60 days, that's odd. Why would they need to go out past 60 days? Something's off there. We need to help them. It's kind of like a red light buzz that we need to help that person. This is the other reason why we do the success tracker. It's not just about business goals. It's not just about being organized. It's that if you look at this and you realize that someone on here that you're helping isn't ordering, well, they're not moving forward on their health goals. So it's just a backwards way to make sure your business is strong, but more importantly, that people are actually moving forward. It's another accountability and a way to keep it simple systems for you. Other GWIS information about plan, just for anyone that's just wondering. Clients should notice fat burning on day 4 or day 5 of plan. If they have hunger or tiredness, there's things that we want to assess with that. Hunger and tiredness is not normal while you're on plan. So connect with your support team. If you see that, they should notice an actual increase in their in their energy and a decrease in hunger. The way I explain it to my clients is that it's like you had a good meal about 2 hours ago. You're not hungry, you're not stuffed, but you're like indifferent. That's how you should feel while you're in fat burning. It doesn't mean that you're impervious to a temptation. So if someone sets something in front of you, you might still be like, I want to eat it. That's not hunger. Let's see, average weight loss that we see is probably somewhere between 2 and 4 pounds for women, and usually like 3 to 5 pounds for men. That's just what I see. That is not our statistical average, but I'm just telling you for the average person, and everybody's body's different. That's what I pretty much see. So just in case you're wondering, generally people will lose a lot more their first week, probably somewhere between 4 and 8. And I've seen as much, believe it or not, 27 pounds in the first week. Person was morbidly obese, but just in case you were wondering, yeah, I know, right? Really cool story of someone that changed their health. Anyways, they're losing a lot more of their weight in the beginning because they're getting rid of water weight and inflammation of our body, because they are putting nutrition in their body. They are getting out more liquid as well as fat. So the more weight you have to lose, you generally lose faster your first week. Measurements are a very important thing. So encourage before and after photos for your clients and on the scale. It makes it very easy to talk about all the other great things that are going well. So if someone calls you up and says, I haven't lost weight for 2 days, you can be like, well, you know what? Our bodies don't lose like a systematic, 0.3 pounds every single day. It's just going to come off. And also, let's stay tuned to your measurements and see what's going on there. Also, how are your clothes fitting? Exercise is completely okay on plan. There's a myth that you cannot exercise. We just encourage people to cut in half what they're doing currently. So if they're doing nothing, half of nothing is nothing. And if they're already exercising, then just cut it down and listen to their body. High amounts of cardio are not recommended because they're already set up to lose weight with the way they're eating. Overdoing cardio can actually lock up their body and slow their weight loss. So just something to consider. I always encourage my clients to ease into it. Eating while working out, you don't have to really adjust your plan. The one small adjustment, and it's not even a major one, is when they're working out, say they're going to the gym for 45 minutes and doing some light activity, tell them to have their meal after the gym. Try to have a meal right before they go in, and right after the gym, move their meal up. So instead of eating like 2.5 to 3 hours, they're probably going to eat like 2 hours, hour and 45 minutes, because they're basically balancing their calories in, calories out, and their nutrition in, nutrition out, and protein out during that time period. You're not messing with plan. You're just sandwiching around the workouts. And if the day is long enough, not necessarily, that may translate into a 6 and 1. That's totally okay. If someone starts exercising, disclaimer, have them focus on the fit of their clothes and inches, because our program, unlike very many programs, and some doctors have argued with me, but I have the proof to prove it, is that our program allows the ability to lose fat while gaining lean muscle mass. And for women out there, it's not bulking, it's lean muscle mass. It's a good thing. So people that can easily offset the scale why people are shrinking. So just be aware of that. So if someone's not losing, that's generally the first question I ask, besides how is your water and did you go off plan? So, because believe it or not, people will be like, oh, I'm not losing. And then they're like, well, they went off program and went on a food bender on the weekend. And it's like, and they come complaining to you. So anyways, it happens from time to time. You'd be surprised. If people have a hard time not losing, hitting the wall, etc., connect back with them and find out what the best fit would be to move forward. Sometimes we're worried about people not losing because we're worried about them having success on a diet, but that's all the different things you can check. And I also like it when people have these questions because it's just another opportunity for us to implore that we are not a diet and they're making a lifestyle change. Let's see here. This is the last bit of information. I think we made it. I was a little bit long, so I apologize. Anything else that might be off plan, that might be off with the things that they're seeing on plan, connect with your support team. You're not meant to know it all. We also have a nutritional support team that they and us can email, as well as doctors and nurses call, where they can log in and call in and get information specific to them. Once people are at their desired weight and body comp, we transition them to the next level of optimal health. I want you guys to say this with me. We do not transition off the food. Transitioning off the food implies that they are dieting with food. They are eating healthy meals 5 to 6 times a day. So we graduate them into transition and graduate them into their next level of health. Moving into optimal health and 3 and 3 products and is our generic structure. And we use empathetic coaching to guide people on the next best fit and what they want to do. We laid the path, but we want to make sure we're listening to what people are saying. And here's just the last reminder in our simple systems, guys, is people think success looks like this, but really for those that, have our health journeys and basically life in general, success is really more what the right-hand side is of this screen. Make sure you're just helping people move forward and partner with them and don't give up on them. If you don't get phone calls back, if you don't get text messages back, don't give up. They're probably just upset at themselves and they need someone to pull them out. And I'm sorry to focus on the negative because most of the time people are killing it, doing great. So have fun, party with your clients, help them feel great and celebrate the successes. Let's see here. Oh, and the last thing, and I put this on a little bit earlier, is offering the 5 and 1 to people only offering the weight loss portion of our program is like seeing someone drowning and tossing them a life preserver and not pulling them in. As people are getting started, we talk about the 5 and 1 because some people might start programs the same day they start coaching. We love that. Some people might have people that want to join them right away. Some people want to get a little bit further in the journey and need a little bit more integration. But if we're looking for that, you will see people want to join you in coaching right away. And what's really cool about this is you get to choose who your partners are. That's the beauty of it. You get to choose who gets to change the world with you. So be thinking about that. And the last piece of information, and I already covered a little bit though, is if you're a newer coach, it's not your job to know what to do with the new coach. You plug them in to your support team because you have a whole support team that wants to help you get those coaches started. So if you have someone that you're like, this is a dynamite person, I know they'd be a good coach, or maybe you've even talked with it, say, great, I'd love you to meet my health coach. Let's talk with them and we can explore a little bit more. 3-way phone calls are powerful. And here's another last tip for simple systems. If you want to really know how much you've changed someone's life, do a 3-way phone call with your support team. You can even do it even if you're not exploring coaching, but you think the person might be great, or just in general. Because when you do a 3-way partner call with your support team, not only are they going to feel more loved on and connected, but you're going to learn a whole nother advantage point of how much their life has changed that you had no idea. Promise you. Guarantee it every single time. It's like clockwork. It happens. People are like, I had no idea that that's how much they've changed their life. It's so cool. And I'm like, you want to do another? And I'm like, heck yeah, let's do that. So think about the 3-way phone calls you can do with your clients. So pencils down. That's everything. You made it. Oh, man, I think you guys all passed your certification. You guys made it. So as we finish up here, guys, I just want you guys to know 5 and 1 at a time. You can partner with people and change the world. Now that you know the simple system, you can change more lives than you thought in just a few touches a day, just a few minutes a day. Your few minutes a day are powerful, and I want you to think about how you're using your time. You know your simple systems, and you know where to plug in, so let's do it. And also, never forget that your part of our daily activity is to help put positivity out in the world. So we don't just do this. I want to tell you another cool thing out there. You'll probably get this at some point if you keep doing this. People will come up to you and say, man, you're always so positive. Isn't it? I appreciate how nice you are and the great things you are always saying. It's great to have people like you in the world. If you do this, not only is it going to help you grow your business, help people, but you're just going to put good things out there. And if more people were doing what we're doing, the world would be a much better pace. Last thing, empathetic coaching is the name of the game. Put ourselves in those shoes, ask questions, create value. So that's it. We accomplished simple systems. This is just literally a review of those top activities because I went over a lot of stuff, but I'll just recap it real quick. Know why you do this and know what you want to say to people. Stay focused on your health. It's a journey. Post on Facebook often and comment on others daily. Talk to 5 people a day and follow up. Set a goal and a time to help one person get started today. If you think about it, it'll be creative. And if you follow the 5 and 1, you can change the world. If you can do that 1 month, every month, then you can do amazing things. So I'm just going to end the call by saying thank you for your time. Thank you for being part of our community. Thanks for putting up with my dorkiness. But you guys, good news. You guys all passed. You guys are all Simple Systems certified. So you got your binder. You got your success tracker. Let's go change the world. And we're going to wrap up this call. Feel free to take a picture, actually to enter in for the drawing that we have. Take a picture of your success tracker and your binder and post it on the post in the Facebook page, and you'll be entered in for a drawing. We're doing it tomorrow morning, and $300 drawings to either convention or towards your health coach certification, whichever you choose. But thank you guys for taking what you do seriously. Thank you for changing lives, and thanks for just being a part of this community. We're all done. Enjoy your evening. You are certified. I certify you guys. Anyways, I'll hang on for anyone that wants to add some, questions off the cuff. I'll just hang around. But guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging with me, going a little bit long, and let's have a great night. Bye, guys.
Brad, can you hear me?
What's that?
Brad?
Yes.